Hello, class, receiving students and teachers. Okay, thank you. You may sit down. All right, receiving students and class, I'd just like you to tell me what did we learn in our previous lesson. Without looking at your notebooks, thank you, receiving students. What did we learn in our previous lesson? All right, Victoria.
Angles.
Okay, thank you, Victoria. Angles. But what type of angles did we look at? Samuel. Not Samuel. Emmanuel.
Complementary angles.
Okay, thank you. Receiving students, we looked at complementary angles. Now, who can tell me what are complementary angles? What are complementary angles without looking at your notebooks? Thank you. You should have it in your head. Uval?
Acute angles that add up to 90 degrees.
Okay, very good, Uval. Acute angles are two acute angles that add up to 90 degrees, or that make a sum of a right angle. Make up a sum of a right angle. Very good. All right, let's go through one activity, receiving students. All right. What would be this unknown angle, class? All right, here you have 65 degrees. This angle here is 65 degrees. What would be the other angle? Receiving students? I'd like you to work it out quickly. Now remember that the sum of this right angle is 90 degrees, okay? So 90, you already know 90 degrees. The sum is given 90 degrees. So if 65 degrees is given, what would be the other angle? And I'd like you to tell me, how did you work it out? How did you work out your answer? Okay, receiving students? You give your answer, but you also tell us how you worked it out. Okay, Rodney?
$25. 90 divide 65. 90 take away 65 equals 25%.
Okay.
Degrees.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Rodney. Did you hear that? He said 90, because the angle sum is already given 90 degrees, so you take away 90, take away 65, which is 25 degrees. So this angle, unknown angle, will be 25. Or in other words, if you plus, so add 65 plus 25 is equal to 90 degrees. So it makes up the complementary angles. Are we clear, receiving students? And 60s? Okay, very good. Now, once again, I'd like you to look around the classroom, receiving students, 60s, and I want you to identify a straight angle. Identify a straight angle. Okay, receiving students, please look around in your classroom and identify a straight angle. Now I'd like some volunteers to maybe go up to the where you can locate the straight angle and show to the class a straight angle. Okay, receiving students, I'd also like you to do that. All right, let's have Fred.
Whiteboard.
Okay, whiteboard, where? Can you come up to the board and show the class? Okay. Thank you, Fred. Anyone else? Anywhere in the classroom, in your room? Only the whiteboard? Are there any other places or where you can locate straight angles? Madhu?
Ruler.
A ruler, okay, hold it up straight and show. Okay, very good. Victoria?
Table.
Okay, the edge of the table, yes. Okay, one more, let's have Taylor. Exercise book. Okay. All right. So the edge of the exercise book. Okay, very good. Okay, how many degrees is a straight angle? Minol?
180 degrees.
Okay, thank you, Minol. Minol says 180 degrees. All right. Do you think it's correct, class, receiving students? All right. If you say that 180 degrees is correct, then what are we going to do to prove that a straight angle is 180 degrees? Receiving students? If you say that a straight angle is 180 degrees, then how can you prove that a straight angle is 180 degrees? Class? Receiving students? Okay, Victoria?
By using a protractor.
Okay, using a protractor to what?
Measure.
Measure what?
Length.
Okay, good. Thank you, Victoria. Okay. What she's trying to say is measure the size of the angle, the straight angle. So we are going to prove or confirm by using a protractor to see if that angle, straight angle, is really 180 degrees. Okay. So. Okay, so class, okay, remember this, okay, this arrow here is indicating the angle, okay? So this is from here all the way to here. So what do we do, the first step, class? What do we do with our protractor? Anyone? Receiving students? What's the first step that we do? Remember, when you want to measure the size of an angle, you use a protractor, but you have to follow steps, all right? In order for you to measure accurately and correctly, what is the first step that we do? Okay, Fred?
Put the subtractor at the straight angle.
Thank you, Fred. Okay. What he means is, what? The center, right, class? Place the center of the protractor, all right, at the vertex of your angle. But as you can see, class, we are going to place the center right here in the middle, all right? In the middle of this angle here. So everyone look up here. Since it is a straight angle, we look for the center. We look for the center and we place this center of the protractor in the middle. Okay? Now, which way are we going to read? We are going to start from 0 degrees. Okay? You start from 0 and we are reading all the way. Because the angle is showing the arrow. Can you see the arrow? It's starting from here and stops here. So we read all the way. So 0, 10, let's all count. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 40, 150, 160, 170, 180. So 180 degrees is a straight angle. Okay, class. Receiving students, if I were to draw a line diagonally here in the middle of the straight angle, what type of angles will I have? Okay? Now remember from your previous lesson, when we drew a line, all right, when we drew a line in the right angle, we formed two acute angles. Okay, class? What about this? What type of angles have I formed? Have we formed from the straight angle? Receiving students, class? Okay, let's have Nora.
Acute and obtuse angle.
Very good. She says, Nora says, acute angle and an obtuse angle. Now, is she correct? Obtuse angle. Remember, what is the property of an obtuse angle? What is the property of an obtuse angle? It is more or less than 90 degrees. Obtuse. Obtuse is more than 90 degrees. Okay, more than 90 degrees. So can you see? From here, it's more. It has gone over 90 degrees. If you put a ruler in the middle here to form a right angle, you'll see that this angle has gone over. So you have an obtuse angle and a acute angle which is less than 90 degrees. So you have formed an acute angle and an obtuse angle from the straight angle. All right. If this angle, obtuse angle, is 110 degrees, receiving students, what will be this angle? This angle here, obtuse, more than 90 degrees, is 110 degrees. This is an acute angle. What would be the size of this acute angle? Receiving students, I'd like you to work it out. And make sure you tell me or tell the class, how did you get your answer? Don't just give your answer. You must explain how you got your answer. Sam?
$180 take away 110 equals 70. 70 degrees.
70 degrees. Okay, thank you, Sam. Did you hear what Sam said? Yes. Okay, he said 180 degrees take away 110 degrees. All right, who can tell me where did he get 180 degrees from? Where did we get 180 degrees from? Receiving students? Lewis.
Total of the straight angle.
Okay, thank you, Lewis. All right. The sum of a straight angle is equal, a straight angle is 100 and, the angle side of a straight angle is 180 degrees. So here, since these two angles, obtuse and acute angle, will have to make up one straight angle, which is 180 degrees. So he's correct by saying 180 minus or subtract, see this is 180 degrees, okay, that's the angle sum. 180 degrees minus 110 degrees is equal to 70 degrees. So this angle is 70 degrees. Very good. Okay, class? Or what's the opposite of this calculation? Who can tell us? Here we are saying 180 degrees minus 110 degrees is equal to 70 degrees. Okay, what can we say about the other calculation or the opposite of this? Just to confirm that 180 minus 110 is 70 degrees. Onea?
110 plus 70 degrees
Complete?
equals 180 degrees.
Okay. Did you get that? 110 degrees plus 70 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. See? The angle sum of a straight angle is 110 degrees. Okay. So that brings us to our topic. Our topic for today's lesson is supplementary angles. All right? Supplementary angles. Okay, supplementary angles, like what you explained from the learning activity or from the example, they are angles that make up a survey. Right angle or straight angle? Straight angle, which is 180 degrees, okay? Angles that have a sum of 180 degrees. They are called supplementary angles. So if you have, it can be angles, can be that three angles, okay, not only two, can be three angles, but they must always add up to 180 degrees. All right, let's go on to our exercise, class. I'd like you to do this exercise quickly. All right, exercise 1, which pair of angles are supplementary? Just have a look at A, B, and C and identify which pair of angles are supplementary. Okay, receiving students? Is it A, is it B, or C? Okay, that should be an easy one. Finished? Okay, exercise number 2. Exercise number 2. All right, 2A, calculate the size of this unknown angle. Calculate the size of this unknown angle. All right, the angle given here is 60 degrees. Okay, 60 degrees. What will be this angle? Okay, receiving students? Please copy it down, copy that one down first, and then I'll move on to the last exercise, B. Okay, copy from your friend if you haven't finished. B. For B, okay, if this is 80 degrees, what will be this angle? 80 degrees is given, what will be the other angle? Okay? Class, receiving students, you should do something like this with your working out, all right? Your working out, you must clearly, all right, show how you got your answer, okay? So you should have something like this. You're either subtracting or you are adding. So if you subtract, you can confirm by adding here. So I'd like you to make sure you must lay it out clearly in your workbook. So receiving students, your receiving teachers will collect your exercise books, all right, to check through your work, check through your working out, making sure that it's clear. Okay, class, I'm also going to check through. So please, I want you to show your working out clearly like this. All right, don't just write your answer. Show it clearly. You either by subtracting and you confirm by adding. Okay, make sure you do your working out, all right? Make sure you do your working out clearly beside your exercise, all right? Make sure you show how did you get your answer, okay? It's very important, receiving students. Don't just write your answer, but you must show how did you get your answer. So you can either do two ways. You can either subtract, or you subtract, and then make sure you must add to find out if, or just to confirm your answer. Like what we did in our learning activity. Okay, copy from your friend if you haven't finished. B, for B, okay, if this is 80 degrees, what will be this angle? 80 degrees is given, what will be the other angle? Okay, who finished with all the exercises? Okay, one person, the others not yet. But remember, receiving students, your teachers are going to collect your exercise books. Same with the model class, I'm going to collect your exercise book to check your work, your answers, all right? Okay, but firstly, let's just correct one. Just correct exercise 1, and the other 2 exercises can be corrected, will correct, receiving teachers will correct in your own class with your receiving students. Okay, number one, which pair of angles are supplementary? Is it A, B, or C? A, B, or C? Brett? Sorry.
C.
Okay, why C?
165 degrees plus 15 equals 180 degrees.
Okay, very good, Brett. 165 plus 15 degrees. 165 degrees plus 15 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. A, 170, 100 plus 70 is 170. That's not a sum of a straight angle, no. B, 80 plus 60 is 140. That's not a sum of a straight angle. So C is correct. All right. So exercise 2 and 3, we'll correct that later in our own time, receiving students. So let's just go through our summary for today's lesson. Supplementary angles are angles that have a sum of 180 degrees. Okay, remember that, class? All right, with that, class, that brings us to the end of our lesson. And our key phrase for today is supplementary angles. And in our next lesson, we're going to be looking at constructing nets of solids. So receiving teachers, I'd like you, all right, I'd like you to prepare nets, all right, of simple solids, okay, nets of simple solids that will be done in your activity, all right. Just prepare any nets of any simple solids like a cube or rectangular prism, rectangular prism, and a triangular prism. So you prepare that for your class. Okay. With that, thank you very much, receiving students and class, for your participation in today's lesson.